can look at Middle East. When we talk about crude oil, we do not necessarily think about the Latin Americas, but we do think about Middle East, because we understand that Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and all of these nations combined have huge oil deposits, crude oil deposits. But as of last year, we've seen a great war breakout, a 12-day war breakout between Israel and Iran, in which we more or less have heard the Strait of Hormuz becoming very important to this discussion, because every now and then it is controlled. It is the world's most critical oil choke point, and roughly about 20% of global oil trade is going through this narrow corridor daily. So Iran's strategic positions include one of these issues is because in the past we have seen US trying to destabilize Iran, and of course oust its leader Ali Mossadegh back in the day. And there is a story of how the Shahs of Iran used to rule Iran, and how it was a very openly free kind of country. And then in the 1979, we've seen the Iranian Revolution happening, Islamic Revolution taking place, and of course theocracy had become the type of governance. Today, Iran recognizes this issue. Just a couple of days ago, Masoud Pezeshkian, the president of Iran, had said that we are in some kind of retaliation with Western powers and the Western world, Western hemisphere. Today, Venezuela is attacked and its oil being plundered. And whether or not Iran will have some heightened tensions in the Strait of Hormuz is a matter of question, matter of time. I want to understand how you feel about this.
Okay. Now the world again is quite unstable, I should say, basing on the Venezuela issue in one side. Another is the Russian war. Yesterday also there had been attack on the oil reserves of Russia and some of the power plants like that. And side by side, Iran is now under tremendous pressure, and it's not a foreign country which is got involved like the Venezuela or Ukraine. It is its own people, and reason being is the total instability in the market, and that is again based on the embargo being imposed by the Western power onto Iran in regard to the export of the oil products or the petroleums. And Hormuz, the Strait of Hormuz, as you have said, that is very, very important geopolitically, because as you said, 20% of the oil are being exported through this strait, and many of the countries like the Oman and other Gulf countries, they are also dependent on Hormuz Strait as regard to their export of the countries. Mineral resources, and if there is any blockade onto the Hormuz, there will be tremendous pressure onto the oil market. And I think I will not be surprised if next step is to block the Hormuz Strait and put tremendous pressure onto the Iran, so that the present government of the Iran or the Islamic government of the Iran is totally cuts a sorry figure, and the America-backed power or America-backed political power takes over in Iran. That will not be surprised. May not be a regime like Shah, but again, I will not be surprised what happened in Afghanistan. Right. Hamid Karzai suddenly came up. So I don't know whether America has created another Hamid Karzai for Iran, who will again come into being and again show some new dimension of the scenario. But one thing we should not forget, that Iran has sustained a revolution. They have not been consuming or tolerating the Western red eyes. And in 1979, revolution has proved that, number one. Number two, the Iran, very well part of the Muslim community. There are divisions between Shia and Sunnis, but at the end of the day, they are the Muslims. So there will be again retaliation in many of the Muslim countries, and Iran can very well capable, may not fight heavily against the USA, but they can very well ignite the non-stakeholders in many countries. So there will be proxy war. There will be proxy war backed by the Iranis because they may not have that much of strength in their own country, in their own economy. But we should not undermine their capacity of igniting the political forces which can anytime take up arms and go against the interest of the USA. That can be another dimension. And you know, if Iran comes under this sort of embargo, they have very good ties with some of the big powers. So they will definitely call upon Russia, China, or even India. They have very good ties with India also.
Right.
So they will definitely look for some assistance to these big powers, and at the end of the day, there will be, as I said, there will be a USA versus rest of the world. This scenario may go like that also. And if you talk about the Greece, yes, rare earth is again a prime need for the USA now. For that, they have also looked towards China. Looked towards Pakistan as well. You know, the Pakistan, the chief of the army staff, yes, he was welcomed by Donald Trump
on multiple occasions.
On multiple occasions, and they have taken lunch together, which is not a normally customary. And again, as I said, that once the blockade will be imposed on Hormuz to stop Iran, there will be crisis, and that crisis will be managed by the USA well companies like Chevron, and that's why this is maybe the prelude to that the Venezuela has been captured, and this world resources of Venezuela, it is a very large stock, you know, we all know it. And you have rightly pointed out that some of the empty tankers have already moved towards Venezuela's ports. So I think that is the that could be a prelude to some embargo on Iran, and to counter that crisis, Venezuela now is being invested by the USA.